A new Google NanoBanana is quoted to be a Photoshop killer, which is always quite an annoying and very hypey thing to say. Usually I hear it from people who never use Photoshop. So I decided to delve into it and see how it is applicable to concept art and 3D work. Here I'm only using my own art, my own portfolio, and a lot of this stuff Photoshop would never be able to do. And a lot of other stuff NanoBanana would never be able to do because you cannot really tweak an image by 2 pixels left to right using prompts. My name is Anthony Nitsky. I've been a 3D artist for over 15 years. So previously I worked on Our Rivals, and before that, long time ago on Penguins Madagascar. Now I'm learning AI tools and sharing it on my channel. First, you need to find NanoBanana, and if you Google it, the first link won't actually be the Google service. There are a lot of repos that are already done, and they appear at the top, a lot of sponsored links. I'm inside the AI studio, and I copied my artwork. I want to just go Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V inside the prompt field here. I'm not changing anything here. I'm actually very new to this AI studio. I haven't used it before, and it's pretty straightforward. A regular prompt field. Then typed in the prompt to change the skin to human looking, put neon sapphire cityscape, and dress him in a jumpsuit because the guy is naked, and I will click run. It usually takes about 30 seconds to run it. Once you run out of credits, you can actually use a hack. You can log in with a different email. In this case, I'm not connecting my Google Drive here, and another account has a connected Google Drive. It didn't get the skin that well. It got the jumpsuit, it got the sci-fi city in the background. To fix that, I will go edit in the prompt. I can start a new prompt, but I will go edit this one. I'll say change human to make skin human realistic. And after I finish with the prompt, I will click on this star right there to rerun this image. If I keep on prompting down at the bottom, it will create a new image in this timeline, and it will not remove the image I've created before. And of course, if you have Google Drive connected, then it will keep it on Google Drive anyway. We've got a very cool, I like it. It kept the eyes being quite alien. The skin is a lot more detail. So I'm happy with that. It keeps this little style, like saying like it's AI at the bottom right corner. I will download that and I can use this. This is rather cool. You can keep going and you can keep adding stuff. I was even adding like balding head at one point. I was trying to add some hair, but that hair looked like cheap 3D hair, so I didn't like that. Then I'm using a different image, in this case a concept tank I did, and I wanted to use the style of the tank and I put it into environment that suits this style. And you can see the result here was pretty good. The shadows don't really match, and I would say saturation of the tank doesn't exactly match. You know, it's slightly off, but it's pretty amazing work I'm getting here. And I decided to go for a desert, and then I click on rerun in that star icon, and there we go. We got the kind of harsh desert environment. It wasn't really what I liked because the camouflage didn't actually fit in. I asked for a jungle desert environment, and it with this harsh shadows and zen, you can see here, it's, I mean, still the background is a bit cartoony compared to somewhat realistic tank. Here I am inside my portfolio and I'm going through some stuff, and I wanted to combine a photo from a photo pack that I use for reference and one of these black and white images. This is one of the things where I always wanted to use AI because I wanted to enhance my stuff that I've done before. And I'm typing this here, mix first image with the second image. You can see here, keep typing your second image as a color and detail reference. And this is the result. So it did enhance the image a lot and colorize a lot of these parts. I mean, this is not very consistent, some of that stuff. And I tried to prompt it. I was like saying, like, make sure that other parts of the image are also fully colorized at the bottom, but that did nothing actually. However, the results I'm getting here are very close to what I'd love to get. So this is a very big step. And in this case, I'm using a black and white concept art I did in 3D code, and I'm trying to colorize it in a movie style. I think it's got a bit of history here. It does remember the prompts previously, and that the history starts to later reflect on other prompts. And in this case, it did actually a very nice job in terms of we are having metallic parts metallic. A lot of colors here, maybe too many, but damage and all that stuff is actually spot on. And I tried to do this flying cargo ship as well, and I wanted to do different style. I wanted to use more like a slums coloring, more rusty one. And in this case, I'm trying to create this cargo colorization, and it is doing kind of combined sci-fi city from my guy before and the colorization from this board from before. Again, colorization is great, but not necessarily what I was looking at exactly. But I'm sure if I played a lot more, I would have gotten where I wanted. And in this case, I used another illustration, a cartoony style illustration, and it asked to remove goggles from the girl, and it removed basically the head. So this is where it misfired. And honestly, with this girl, I experienced some troubles. I wasn't able to achieve much end of the day. And I asked them to make the girl into a boy. And this is what I got. I mean, didn't kind of stay the female body, and the face is changed in the same style. So you could say it's kind of did something, but not necessarily what I wanted. In this case, I'm using a big 3D piece I've done before. I always like detail and texture work because I never had time to do it properly. And I asked to cover it to make it more like a Khmer temple in Cambodia because that was the original reference. And it created it like a bit like cheap 3D. It doesn't actually enhance the look. It's a bit unfortunate. Probably a matter of a few months for that to be much better and make it a lot more photoreal. Now I have this, probably the biggest win, the thing that struck me the most was changing my sketch to a mobile game casual like vehicle. And the thing is, like, we can take this vehicle and we can turn it into a 3D model, and I have a video about it if you want to watch about different ways to do that. And this was, for me, was the most striking change because it basically got almost exactly what I wanted. This is the best result, I think, for myself I got. And also because we have clean background, it's very easy to turn it into 3D. This block out of a city, which I asked Google to turn into a jungle environment, which it did pretty cool job. I mean, it made it completely abandoned, overgrown jungle environment. Then I asked it to do a painterly Tatooine style desert planet. And it did this. It looks quite AI, kind of like a water world idea. And I added some water, ocean, and dramatic lighting. It didn't really do a good job here. The horizon is screwed up and everything is not great at all. Here I did a bit better job. Again, epic lighting and all that. I mean, skipping all the objects there, but it's not enhancing the image as I was hoping for it to enhance. Maybe I need to play with the prompt a lot more. Another desert environment, added this rocky desert inside. Interesting result. Then I have this in raw blockout that I turn into kind of Tatooine stuff. I asked to add more neon lights advertising and started to put this here. It was typical kind of not really great AI type. Then I asked for more lights and it became, well, over the top, pretty ugly. As a conclusion, I think it's an incredibly powerful tool which you can combine with image to 3D. Yeah, I think this is going to be used everywhere because it doesn't change the original image that much and it can do a lot of tweaks. Thank you for watching, and to see the next useful video about AI, just click that subscribe button. See you.